No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning, Unity Renaissance. Time for our morning affirmation. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. I'll let my light shine so that everyone can see. I'll let love divine daily flow through me. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. I will be the change I want to see, and let harmony daily flow through me. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. Yes, we are. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. Let's chant that right now, right? All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, life is good, I am truly blessed. All is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed. I am truly blessed. I am truly, all is well, yeah, life is good, I am truly blessed.
Oh man, I'm feeling that energy this morning. How about you? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Renaissance on this gorgeous September morning. Beautiful Sunday. Gosh, it feels good to be together, doesn't it? And it feels good to be with you too online. We wish you were here with us in person, but hopefully you're feeling all the love and the care that we're sending out to you over the airwaves this morning. Well, today at Unity Renaissance, we're celebrating volunteering and really celebrating our volunteers, which, as you know, is in so many ways sort of the heartbeat of the community here, the ways people give so selflessly. So many people step up to to give in ways that speak to their own heart, but also enhance our community. So with that in mind, I just want to recognize a couple of volunteers this morning. First of all, these gorgeous flowers here for fall. That's because of Denise Beckwith. Gets up here and does that. He comes like a little angel in the night. We show up on Sunday, bam, we have beautiful flowers. Thank you, Denise, for all you do there. And you may have noticed something a little different up here today. Does that look a little tiny bit different? It's very subtle. But we had 4 folks who worked their tails off over the weekend to basically enlarge the platform here. So the music team has more space here. So this used to duck in, and now it comes out. And this beautiful handiwork is a result of the dedication and the skill of David Kennedy and Tyler Tedeschi and Richard Mekdeci and Jeff Blau. So now they got a little room up there, so we're very, very grateful for that. And I want to give a shout out to just one more volunteer right now. Of course, I could spend a long time at recognizing all of you, but our beloved Richard Hackman, you know, he prepares the PowerPoint each week. He does it from his home. He's so dedicated. Last week, Richard had surgery. It went well. Everything's good. And we thought, oh, we'll do the PowerPoint this week. Sure enough, end of the week, where's the PowerPoint? Like, Richard, we thought you would want to be recovering. No, I've got this. And, you know, that's the kind of dedication, that sort of deep commitment to being a part of this community and giving our gifts. So thank you to Richard Hackman today. Buddy, we love you. We appreciate you so very much. Well, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We follow the teachings and the example of our way shower, Jesus, in seeking to more fully love God, love ourselves, and love one another. It's all about love. You boil it right down, isn't it? And from that beautiful consciousness of love here at Unity, we honor all paths to God, all names for God, and all expressions of God. And each and every one of you, you're an expression of God. You are the divine in expression. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Wow, what a huge realization that is. And when we know that about ourselves and we can tune into our innate divinity and then we behold it in one another, that beautiful light in us just grows and grows, and it shines out ever more brightly to light up our world. Our vision at Unity Renaissance is, together, a spiritually awakened world, living in peace, love, and joy. And we are bringing that vision into manifestation through our mission, which is, together, we transform lives that transform the world. Let's begin our time of transformation this morning with prayer. I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath in wherever you might be in this moment, and just breathe in this energy of life. And breathe out into the allness of God. And sweet Spirit, we're just so grateful to be connected this morning in person and virtually over the airwaves. We feel that sense of oneness as we turn our attention to the divine in us, the divine in all beings. We're so grateful for this amazing spiritual community that feeds our souls, that fills our hearts, that shows us the way to continue to grow and learn and awaken. And for all of this on this beautiful day, we are grateful and we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
All right, let's all stand, get ready to do a little earth chant from Karen Drucker. I want you to say, thank you. Say, thank you. Thank you. Say, thank you. Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Spirit, thank you for my friends. Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends.
my wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
Thank you for my health.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health.
Amen.
Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health.
Thank you for my life.
Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life.
All right, from that beautiful spirit of gratitude within you, I invite you to join me now in our divinity salute as we turn to greet our neighbor with a bow together. The divine in me greets the divine in you, and we serve and celebrate together for the glory of God.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Well, good morning, beautiful family.
Morning.
I'm Gail Boynton, your platform host for today, and I'm thrilled to be here and share the daily word. The daily word for today is free. Please join me in our affirmation. Together, living from my divine nature frees me. Sometimes I feel limited when I don't think I have enough time, money, space, education, or experience. These thoughts can occupy so much space in my mind that I begin to think limitation is the truth of life. The greater truth is that I'm free and unlimited in spirit. Alive in God, I am free to express all the love, wisdom, and strength of the divine as only I can. What joy and liberation it is to know that nothing can separate me from my true spiritual nature. If I believe any circumstance in my life or any of my past actions obstruct or delay my spiritual progress, I now release that belief. Embracing and living from the divine presence, the Christ within me, I claim freedom from all limitation. Our scripture verse is from Acts chapter 17, verse 28. In him we live and move and have our being. If you'd like prayer support today, we have a prayer chaplain here. Audrey is here. If you would stand and let everybody see you. She's available after the service, and you can also put a prayer request in the little box. It's up against the wall in the narthex. And you can go to the website as well to request prayer support. And now please stand and join us for the Lord's Psalm.
Holy Creator, we praise your name. Your will in heaven and earth the same. Supply our needs.
temptations hold. Deliver us, Lord, into your fold. For all the kingdom, power and praise, with you began and with you stays. Holy Creator,
Our Father, who art in heaven,
praise your name.
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
In the ever-shifting waters of the river of this life, I was swimming, seeking comfort. I was wrestling waves to find a boulder I could cling to, a stone to hold me fast, where I'd let the fretful waters of this river round me pass. And so I found an anchor, a blessed resting place, a trusty rock I'd call my savior, and there I would be safe. From the river and its dangers I'd proclaim my rock divine, and I'd pray to it protect me, and then the rock replied, God is a river, not just a stone. God is a wild, raging rapids and a slow, meandering flow. God is a deep and narrow passage, a peaceful, sandy shore. God is a river swimmer, so let go. Still I clung to my rock tightly, with conviction in my arms, never looking at the stream to keep my mind from thoughts of harm. But the river kept on coming, kept on tugging at my legs, till at last my fingers faltered and I was swept away. So I'm going with the flow now, these relentless twists and bends, acclaiming to the motion and a sense of being led. And the river's like my body now, it carries me along, through the ever-changing scenes and by the rocks that sing this song. God is a river, not just a stone. God is a wild raging rapids and a slow meandering flow. God is a deep and narrow passage, a peaceful sandy shore. God is a river swimmer, so let go. God is a river swimmer. So let go.
That's Nick Hill.
One of my all-time favorite books is a book called Animals as Teachers and Healers. We have copies in the bookstore. It's by Susan Chernak McElroy, and it's filled with true stories about dogs, cats, birds, horses, donkeys, cows, llamas, and dolphins who have loved and inspired and healed and taught valuable lessons to humans. There's one story in the book about a woman named Sandra who attended a workshop that involved swimming with the dolphins. And Kim Rosen, who facilitated that workshop, later wrote, Sandra was a beautiful young woman full of yearning, imprisoned within a cage of frozen feelings and entangled memories. As she slipped into the water with the dolphins, Sandra's prison dissolved. She became as one of them, dancing and twirling through the waters, reborn into a freedom she had always remembered, yet never known. Emerging from the sea, she proclaimed, "My God, they are who we would be without fear." Beautiful. Animals are our teachers and healers. And so are plants and trees and rivers and mountains and oceans and flowers, valleys, all of it. You know, we humans think of ourselves as the superior species, but nature has so much to teach us. And I believe nature wants to teach us. I believe there's some compassion going on there. And we who think that we're of the higher order, we would do well to humble ourselves, to spend less time dominating and more time learning, because the divine in nature can awaken the divine in us. Well, spiritual masters throughout history have turned to nature for insights and inspiration. Of course, Jesus pointed to the lilies of the field and the birds of the air to help us understand God's love. And he regularly referenced mountains, fields, seeds, trees, plants, and animals to make his points. And isn't it so interesting? When you picture Jesus, don't you always picture him outdoors? Like we picture him on a hillside or in a garden or in the wilderness or by the sea. You know, you never picture Jesus at home with his feet propped up, right? He's always out in the elements because he's one with that beautiful energy of oneness, the spiritual. Well, the transcendentalists whose philosophy helped shape New Thought, they had a special reverence for nature. They believed that spirit or God was immanent in all of creation, immanent meaning within all of creation, and that all of creation could and did reveal that spirit. The first essay Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote was in 1836, and it was called Nature. In it, he described a transcendent moment that he had experienced while walking along one chilly November evening, thinking about nothing in particular. He wrote, "Standing on the bare ground, my head bathed by the blithe air and uplifted into infinite space, all mean egotism vanishes. I become a transparent eyeball. I am nothing. I see all. The currents of the universal being circulate through me. I am part or particle of God." You know, that moment of dissolving into the universe inspired Emerson for the rest of his life. Even more familiar to us is Henry David Thoreau, who was especially drawn to nature. When he went off to Walden Pond, which is near Concord, Massachusetts, for 2 years, he said, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, to discover that I had not lived." Often Thoreau experienced a loss of self by immersing himself in nature. In Walden, he wrote, "I sat in my sunny doorway from sunrise to noon, wrapped in reverie, amidst the pines and hickories and sumacs, while the birds sang around or flitted noiseless through the house, until by the sun falling in at my west window or the noise of some traveler's wagon on the distant highway, I was reminded of the lapse of time. I grew in those seasons like corn in the night, and they were far better than any of the work of the hands would have been." Those words are so beautiful, aren't they? Just hearing them, it sort of stirs something really deep in us, doesn't it? Because I believe we all have this innate longing for what is simple and essential. We all feel this draw to nature. You know, nature is our safe haven, is it not? It's our sanctuary. And often, nature is our saving grace. Wasn't this so true during the lockdown time, and even now, during the pandemic? Honestly, I cannot even imagine how I, or we, would have gotten through those times of being isolated from one another and feeling hemmed in had we not had the relief and the opportunity to go out in nature, to just experience sort of the sheltering sky and the towering trees and the beautiful ocean, just to feel reassured. It's like all of nature was pulling for us. Didn't you feel that? As if it was conveying to us, life goes on. We'll get through this. Everything's okay. Nature is our teacher, and we still have so much to learn. In his book called Green Nature, Human Nature, Charles Lewis writes, "Green nature acts like a conscience, telling us that we must realize that our civilization is not necessarily life's highest achievement." And get this, he notes, "Plants existed on Earth longer than people, and indeed may outlast people. Crabgrass can survive a nuclear attack and keep on growing." Some of you may have experienced some of that in your own yards. But think about that. I mean, the fact is, we need nature more than nature even needs us, right? According to the World Health Organization, the #1 health epidemic in the 21st century, leaving aside the current pandemic, but the ongoing #1 health epidemic in the 21st century is stress. Stress. We're all busy and overwhelmed, and technology has only made it worse. Technology that's supposed to make our lives so much easier, save time, right? On top of everything else, we now have what is called techno-stress due to unhealthy ways of using technology. Research shows that constantly checking our phones, I know none of you do this, constantly checking our phones, compulsively sharing updates, and feeling that we always have to be connected addictively playing computer games, continually surfing the web. Practices like these contribute to, here's the list: anxiety, headaches, depression, mental fatigue, eye and neck strain, insomnia, frustration, anger, and irritability. That's what we're doing to ourselves. And of course, the more stress, the more illness. So because of that, there's more heart attacks, strokes, cancer, mental illness, addiction, loneliness, depression, and panic attacks. But Mother Nature is here for us if we will slow down and make time for her. Here's one novel practice that we can use to connect with Mother Nature. It's called forest bathing. Forest bathing, not like not like a water bathing. Forest bathing. And in his book by that title, Dr. Ching Li, who's the chairman of the Japanese Society of Forest Medicine, he describes this as a simple practice for restoring balance as well as our health and happiness. It's known as Japan as Shinran-yoku, forest bathing. It simply means bathing in the forest atmosphere, or taking in the forest through all of our senses. We smell the flowers, we taste the fresh air, we hear the birds sing, look out at the changing colors of leaves, feel the breeze on our skin. Oh, it almost feels good just thinking about it, doesn't it? As Dr. Lee says, nature takes our breath away and breathes new life into us. I know this might sound a little woo-woo to some of you out there. Okay, we're going to go out and hug some trees. It's forest bathing. But listen, there's now a wealth of data that shows that forest bathing offers these benefits: reduces blood pressure, lowers stress, improves cardiovascular and metabolic health, lowers blood sugar levels, improves concentration and memory, lifts depression, improves pain thresholds, improves energy, boosts the immune system, and helps people lose weight. I know you're thinking, where do I sign up? Well, the steps for forest bathing are actually quite simple. In fact, they don't even have to require a forest. First, find a location. It can be a forest, a park, or a garden, or your own backyard. Our beautiful grounds here at Unity Renaissance. But you want to try to find a spot that has plenty of trees and a lot of different varieties of plants, and if possible, near water. Step 2, leave behind your phone, camera, music, and any other distractions. As you enter into this spot for this time, slow down. Slow down. Come into the present moment and forget about time. Engage your 5 senses, and then your sixth sense is your state of mind, so you can consciously breathe in joy and calm. When you close your eyes, it helps you listen in all directions, so you hear everything around you. And Dr. Lee says to stay here for 2 hours, if possible. 2 hours, though you will begin to notice effects after 20 minutes. You know, during my sabbatical, one of the most wonderful things I discovered was the joy of lying in our hammock for hours at a time. Seriously, just lying there, looking up at the trees and listening to the birds sing, looking out at the ducks and the geese on the pond behind our house, and just taking in the big, bright, beautiful blue sky. And as I would lie there, I felt like I was enveloped by God. I truly did. A place of perfect wholeness and peace. You know, if nature is our teacher, if God in nature is our teacher, then we would do well to be good students. You can create this feeling of being enveloped in God in so many different ways. You can spend time in a park. You can go for a walk. We're so blessed here to have so many beautiful places around us. Go to the beach. Put your toes in the ocean for a while. Spend some time on these grounds. You know, Linda Bradley and Ed Bradley, Linda's sitting over there in our fantastic green team. They've created a masterpiece on these grounds. Come out here sometime and just walk slowly around and then sit. Wherever you go, just spend some time there and take it in. And pay attention to what is around you. Even when you're in your home, you know, even a cat sleeping in the sun can remind us to relax, take it easy, and enjoy life. You might want to plant flowers, tend a garden, or if you can't be outside, bring plants in and fill up your house, because plants are life-giving, aren't they? Oh, they have like an immediate effect on us. And here's an example of how connecting with one single plant changed a person's life. So he was a 24-year-old veteran lying in a hospital bed in a VA hospital in Alabama. And he had become totally paralyzed after stepping on a landmine in Vietnam. Well, his medical team was not certain that his paralysis would be permanent, but the patient had fallen into despair and he had stopped trying to improve. Well, one sunny spring day, a horticultural therapist came in and put down beside the bed of the patient a little glass jar half filled with peat moss. And then while the patient was watching, he planted into the peat moss 5 bean seeds. Well, of course, within a couple of days, the bean seeds began to sprout. And within 5 days or so, they really started growing rapidly. If you've ever grown bean seeds, it's amazing. You can practically see the growth happening. So they were growing rapidly. And then the horticultural therapist took the jar and he put it on the other side of the patient's bed where he couldn't see it. And he told the nurse not to turn the patient the way they usually had been. Well, the next morning, that young veteran was lying on his other side, looking at his bean seeds. It was his first voluntary movement since he'd had his accident. And after that, he continued to progress, and eventually he was discharged from the hospital. While he is in a wheelchair, he's gone on to be able to live a full, satisfying life. You see, the healing element of God in nature. And this presence, this spirit presence, is all around us. It's really calling to us, but it's up to us to connect with it. It is to make the time, to slow down, to notice, to spend time with it. So I encourage you, particularly now, my friends, this is such a difficult time for us. I am very well aware. We're all carrying a lot right now. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of upset. Do yourself this favor. Make time to go out and spend time in nature or with animals, however you can. Open yourself up to it, this beautiful healing presence that loves you. Let it calm you. Let it soothe you. Let it bring you peace. And let it bring you joy. Let's turn now to our meditation. Let's just take a moment to get comfortable in our seats. And close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, taking in a big, deep, cleansing breath. Release and let it go. And let's do that 2 more times. A big, deep breath in. And let go. And once more. Breathing in. Release. Feel any sense of stress just dropping away from your shoulders. busy thoughts going quiet. And breathe. Feeling in this very moment this great love of the universe all around you and within you. Loving you. In this moment, I invite you to bring into your mind's eye a special place of sanctuary for you. Maybe it's out in nature, maybe it's being with your pets, maybe it's someplace in your house, but your sanctuary, your little piece of heaven. Take a moment to remember how you feel when you are there. That sense of, God. Allow yourself in your mind's eye to revisit that place, that sacred sanctuary, that safe haven for you. Allow yourself to imagine going there and being there, seeping it in for a few moments in the silence. We go forward from this time of meditation, we make an inner commitment, each of us, to find ways to connect with, to steep ourselves in God and nature as a gift to ourselves, knowing and giving thanks that all of nature, all of spirit in its many forms is pulling for us, is loving us, is there for us. And for all of this, we are so grateful. Thank you, sweet Spirit, and so it is. Amen.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Well, now is the time in our service for sharing our love offering. You know, Unity Renaissance is really coming on strong right now. I realize we're still in a pandemic. I realize there's still caution and concern. You're all wearing masks. Bless your sweet hearts for doing that. But at the same time, we're rebounding. You can't hold this spirit down. A lot of really great things are happening here. We are growing in many beautiful ways. And I invite you today to grow with us in your participation in what's happening here, and also in your generosity. As we grow, all is like a rising tide lifts all boats. And we're very excited about our future, and we're very grateful for all of your financial support that has helped making this tremendous growth, this excitement possible. There are many ways to give to Unity Renaissance, of course, Perhaps the easiest and most convenient is to use technology. Use just this once. Use your smartphone. And you can set yourself up by texting the word give and thereafter the amount you wish to contribute to the number
540-418-1228. Text now.
And of course, we also welcome checks and cash. Those of you who are present today, if you prefer to give in that way, we have a love offering basket in the back, and we invite you to just drop it in there as you leave today. And with that, I invite you to hold your gift in your hand, and let's bless it with our offertory blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Give and it's given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. Back in good measure, it's given back to you.
Feature Miss Holly Rice on this song from J.D. Martin and Jan Garrett.
After the dazzle of day is done, the moon makes love to the setting sun. The stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We sleep in dreams both deep and bright, sailing through the velvet night, refreshing the soul to the Spirit's delight, living in the heart heart of God.
Everybody.
We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten.
Let's give Holly some love. That was beautiful, Holly.
So pretty. Well, we'd like to welcome anyone who is here today for the first, second, or third time. If you're new to Unity Renaissance, we invite you to raise your hand nice and high, holding up the appropriate number of fingers, 1 for your first visit, 2 for your second visit, 3 for your third visit. You got the hang of this. You know what we're doing. We got a second timer right up here. Anybody else today? All right, Donna right here on the third row. Well, welcome. We're so glad that you decided to spend Sunday morning with us. We look forward to seeing you again and again.
Hello. Oh, very good. Coming up on October 3rd, we're going to be welcoming new members, and you have one more chance to learn about unity and what it would be to be a member, and I have to say there's something really special about making that decision. So please join tomorrow night at 6:30 here. Is it here or on Zoom?
It's both.
Okay.
It could
both
be either.
Here on Zoom.
Yeah.
It's Path to Discovery, and you can learn all about unity at that time.
Yeah, good. Hey, we have something super exciting coming up this fall. It's going to be one of the highlights of our fall. It's a brand new class that's going to be taught by Christopher Naughton, sitting down here on the first row. It's called Mind Blowing. It's breakthrough discoveries on the nature of life, death, and consciousness that connects us all. You know, we talk from time to time about all these things we don't understand, the forces out there, the ways we're connected, how prayer works, what consciousness is, all these sorts of things, not to mention life after death and near-death experiences. Well, Christopher is brilliantly bringing it all together in this class to really look at the most recent studies on all of these things and kind of elevate our consciousness in the process. Not only is he pulling this together, but he's going to bring in some really fabulous special guests, including Larry Dawsey, Eben Alexander. You know these names. Larry Dawsey is kind of the prayer consciousness person. Eben Alexander, he's talked about his near-death experience. Bruce Grace and Diane Powell and many others. It's going to be at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays for 5 weeks, starting on October the 13th. You'll be able to attend right here in person as well as online. Because of all the great resources being pulled together here, we're asking $25 per class for this. But you get a discount if you go to all 5 classes for a mere $99. You can register in the narthex or on our website. I can't say enough good about this. I'm super excited about it. I just finished reading Christopher's brand new book, America's Next Great Awakening, and I already have a sense of what's coming in this class, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you for bringing it to us, Christopher.
Awesome. Coming up, we have mind, body, and spirit classes. This is one of those. It's like 3 days a week, so
yeah,
there's no excuses. I'm actually talking to myself here. Sorry. Let's see, Katie Cook on Tuesdays at 5:30. It's Unity Yoga, and on Thursdays, Easy Tai Chi. You can be a beginner or experienced. It makes no difference. And on Saturdays, Meditation in Motion with Penny Hawes, and that's at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and you don't have to register for those. You can just come. So when your schedule allows, or make your schedule work for that, and come join us for those. Today, as I mentioned at the beginning, super special day. Our volunteer fair is today. Hey, I'd like to just invite anyone here who volunteers or has volunteered at Unity Renaissance to just stand for a moment so we get a sense of how many people volunteer here. You see, it's a lot of folks, and we'd like it to be even more. Thank you all for your wonderful service. We appreciate you. I know there are many others who are not with us today. If you see Quintina Harris, be sure and give her a big hug. She has worked so hard with her team to create the fair out here today. There'll be booths that inform you of all the different ways to serve. And you know, you may think, oh, I'm so busy, I don't know if I can do it. Well, we have all sorts of options. You can sign up for things that are a one-time thing or ongoing or whatever works for you. Here's the thing. When you sign up and you start volunteering here, you deepen your connection not only with this spiritual community, but with the divine within you. It is a great catalyst for your own spiritual growth, and you make new friends and have a lot of fun too. So please check that out. There'll be some refreshments out there. You can get your questions answered. A great chance to get more involved here and make some new friends. And thank you to Quintina and the team for doing this. Yay.
Okay, something new on Fridays. It's actually the last Friday of each month, starting this coming Friday. They're calling it Fun Fridays, but it's Fridaze. And it's being organized by, oh gosh, I've just...
Penny Hudson and Anna, who's standing right back there.
Oh, okay,
Anna
cool.
Vincent.
Hi. And so this particular Friday, it's going to be game night. Bring a snack to share. The following month, this is always the fourth Friday of the month, right? Next month, it's a Halloween dance, a costume dance. And they're going to have, going forward, things like comedy night, poetry night, bingo, all kinds of things. And the other thing is, yeah, to be part of something like this, they would love to have some volunteers to be on the committee to plan these.
Yeah, we're going to, in case you're wondering, we're going to wear masks when we're together, except when we're eating or drinking. So we will maintain our safety protocols. But we also really recognize the human need to come together and have some fun. So I hope you'll join us for that this coming Friday night. I told you there's a ton going on. And also coming back, I'm so, so happy and grateful that Judy Namath, wave your hand there, Judy, is going to start up her contemplative prayer. Judy led a class here for like 5 years or something, right? On Tuesday nights, many of you were part of her centering prayer practice. It's a contemplative prayer. It's going to be on Zoom only, so many people can participate. 12:15 to 1:15 p.m. on Thursdays, and it's going to start on October the 7th. And so what a beautiful way, kind of almost midweek, to just get yourself recentered and have some deep spiritual connection. Thank you, Judy, for bringing that back to us. Next Sunday, our guest speaker will be Reverend Laura Barrett Bennett. Yes, and Laura was the minister who preceded me here at Unity Renaissance. Her talk title is The Forbidden Fruit and the Apples of Gold. So Laura is just such a brilliant Bible scholar, metaphysician, and she will take these symbols and apply them to what we're experiencing right now in ourselves and in our world, and then help us find ways to create and live in love and peace and joy, and to create a positive difference together. So I know it's going to be fabulous. Please join us for that. Well, that's it for our announcements. Let's stand together now and welcome in our children. Thank you. Yeah, for now, yeah. You can come back at the end for the peace song.
We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking. We are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking. We are walking, walking. We are walking in the light of God.
You may be seated while we chat with the kids for a few moments. Hey guys, how are you? Good day today? Yeah? Who'd like to share what you learned? Yes. What is your name? James? All right, come up here. You can pull it down if you wish.
We learned about having enough.
Having enough. It's not as much as we think sometimes, is it? But it's plenty. Anybody else? Willow. What a pretty name. Oh, you've got your little kitty cat there with you.
I learned.
Do you want to pull your mask down so we can hear you a little bit better?
I learned to be adventurous.
I learned to be adventurous. Yes. So you spoke up at church. Very impressive. Did you have something, sweetheart? Are you going to come forward? What's your name? Amani? Come on up here, dear. You can pull your mask down if you want to speak.
I learned today that bullying is not fun to talk about other people.
Bullying is not. Oh, like talking about other people is kind of a way of bullying? That's a good point. That's a really good point. You guys are learning a lot of great stuff in there, and we appreciate you. All right, well, let's stand together now, and we're not going to join hands, but let's join for or speak together our prayer for protection, followed by our peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment